For this question, we're going to convert this augmented matrix into a system of linear equations. So we're undoing the process from the lesson that we learned, 2-3a. So what do? Well, let's copy down our matrix first. And we'll just sort of add things to it. So 3, 1, negative 6, 0, 2, 0. 8, negative 1, negative 4, and the last one was 0, negative 2, negative 11. A lot of negative signs here. Okay, so there's our matrix. We have to undo the steps we learned in the lesson. We have to sort of reverse them. Okay, now what are we going to do first? Well, let's get rid of these bars. That's usually my first instinct. Remember, the long bar in the middle changes back into equal signs. The things over on the right are constants. They don't get variables. But these two columns of numbers are the coefficients for variables. So maybe we'll introduce a variable x and a variable y here for those columns. Okay. Now, this looks good so far, but these aren't technically equations. Read the first one. It's 3x, 1y equals negative 6. These aren't the equations that we know. We need pluses. We introduce plus signs in between here. And now we've got equations. This represents our system completely, but it isn't usually what's written, because in math we have little shorthands or things that we omit. So for example, we don't really need these 0 x's. Nobody writes 0 times x. Now, do be warned, you can't just eliminate everything that's got a 0. This constant 0 over here is important and needs to stay. Otherwise, you just have 2y equals blank. And that doesn't really help anyone. This 1 here, nobody writes plus 1y. We just write plus y. It's apparent we only have one of them. The last thing to clean up is any plus negative numbers. So that plus minus 1 turns into just a minus 1y. Subtract 1y. And then we drop the 1 there again. All right, so there's our system. 4 equations. These would represent 4 lines in 2 dimensions. 3x plus y equals negative 6. 2y equals 0. 8x minus y equals negative 4. And negative 2y equals negative 11. Okay, we've got our system. We're not going to make any comments on its solutions or anything like that. We're just going to sort of leave it as is. There is our system of linear equations as requested.